Hello, and welcome to our lecture series on storytelling with data, a data visualization guide for business professionals. My name's Joe, and I'll be guiding us through the lecture series. This video is on Chapter 1, the importance of context. Effective data visualization does not begin with charts, software, or even data. It begins with context. Before any visual design choices are made, before any data sets are loaded, and before any graphics are drafted, we must first understand the situation in which communication will occur. Visualization is not an isolated technical task. It is a human act of communication that exists within social, organizational, cognitive, and decision-making environments. Without context, even the most polished visualization risks being irrelevant, confusing, or ineffective. Context provides purpose. It defines why the communication is happening, who it's for, what should result from it, and how it should be delivered. When context is unclear, visualization becomes disconnected from meaning. Graphics become artifacts rather than tools. Data becomes noise rather than evidence. Successful visualization practice therefore requires disciplined attention to context as a first step, not the last. Data operates in two fundamentally different modes, exploration and explanation. These two modes serve different purposes and demand different behaviors. Exploratory analysis is the process of discovery. We explore data to understand it, test ideas, search for patterns, identify anomalies, and generate hypotheses. This phase is iterative, uncertain, and open-ended. It involves trying many perspectives, examining data from multiple angles, and asking many questions, most of which will not lead to meaningful conclusions. Exploration is messy by nature, and it should be. It is a space for curiosity, experimentation, and learning. Explanatory communication, by contrast, is the process of meaning-making for others. It's focused, selective, and intentional. In this mode, we're no longer searching, we are communicating. We no longer ask many questions, we are answering specific ones. The purpose shifts from discovery to clarity, from possibility to message, from analysis to understanding. A critical discipline in visualization practice is knowing when to transition from exploration to explanation. Audiences do not need to see the entire analytical journey. They don't need every failed hypothesis, every test, or every intermediate result. They need meaning. They need insight. And most importantly, they need relevance. Our responsibility is not to display all the work that we've done, but to translate the work into understanding. Explanatory communication should therefore focus on distilled insight rather than raw analysis. We should extract what matters structurally and coherently and present it in a form that can be easily understood, remembered, and acted upon. The goal is not completeness. The goal here is clarity. Context can be structured through three fundamental questions: who, what, and how. These questions form the backbone of effective visual communication. Every active communication has an audience, and clarity begins with specificity. We should avoid vague or generalized audiences. Trying to speak to everyone at once results in communication that resonates with no one in particular. Effective communication requires a clearly defined audience with identifiable needs, goals, constraints, and perspectives. Understanding the audience involves more than demographic labels. It includes understanding their roles in decision-making, their level of subject matter knowledge, their familiarity with the data, their assumptions, their priorities, and their motivations. It also includes understanding the relationship between communicator and audience. Trust, credibility, authority, and familiarity all shape how messages are received. Communication design must account for these relationships. A message delivered to decision makers differs from one delivered to practitioners. A message delivered to skeptics differs from one delivered to supporters. A message delivered to experts differs from one delivered to novices. Visualization is not neutral. It's interpreted through the lens of the audience perception. Every communication should aim to produce an outcome. We should always be able to articulate what the audience should know, believe, or do as a result of the communication. If no outcome can clearly be stated, the communication lacks purpose. Visualization is not about showing data. It's about enabling understanding and action. Meaningful communication moves people cognitively or behaviorally. It informs decisions, shapes beliefs, influences priorities, and guides choices. This requires intentionality. We should not assume that audience will independently extract the correct meaning from visuals. Interpretation must be guided. This requires confidence in interpretation. If we are responsible for analyzing data, we are responsible for interpreting it. Communication should not hide behind neutrality. It should offer insight, perspective, and direction. Even when explicit recommendations are not appropriate, communication should still guide discussion, frame issues, and suggest pathways forward. Action-oriented communication creates engagement. When audiences are asked to respond, decide, or act, they are cognitively active. When they're only shown information, they're passive. Visualization becomes powerful when it moves from presentation to participation. The form of communication shapes meaning. The medium determines how information is consumed, how much control the communicator has, and how the structure must be embedded in the content itself. Live communication allows for guidance, pacing, and adaptation. It enables real-time explanation, clarification, and emphasis. It relies more on the presenter and less on the artifact. Written communication shifts control to the audience. It requires greater clarity, completeness, and self-sufficiency because interpretation occurs without guidance. Design must adapt to this mechanism. Sparse, supportive visuals work in live contexts. Dense, structured, detailed structures are required in standalone documents. Problems arise when a single artifact is expected to serve both purposes. Effective communication begins by identifying the primary medium and designing intentionally for it. Communication always carries emotional and psychological signals. Tone shapes how messages are perceived before they're cognitively processed. Seriousness, urgency, celebration, caution, confidence, and empathy are all communicated visually through structure, language, and design choices. Tone must also be intentional. It must align with purpose and audience. A mismatch between tone and message creates confusion and resistance. Visualization is not emotionally neutral. It always communicates stance, posture, and intent. Data should serve the story, not define it. Once context is clear, once the audience, purpose, and mechanism are defined, data becomes supporting evidence. It strengthens claims, substantiates interpretation, and provides credibility. This does not mean selectively presenting only convenient data. Responsible communication acknowledges complexity and context. It balances support and challenge. It builds trust through transparency rather than persuasion through omission. Integrity in visualization comes from honest representation, not selective storytelling. Clarity requires compassion. Complex information must be reduced without distraction. This is not simplification in the sense of dumbing down. It's refinement in the sense of focus. Effective communication can be expressed at multiple levels of abstraction. A strong message can be delivered in a long explanation, a short summary, or a single sentence. Each level reinforces the same core meaning. This layered structure creates coherence and resilience. The message remains clear regardless of time, format, or attention constraints. Being concise requires mastery. It requires knowing what matters and what does not. It requires understanding the structure of the argument and the logic of the insight. Compression is a cognitive discipline, not a stylistic one. Before visualization becomes visual, it should become structural. Storyboarding is the process of designing meaning before designing graphics. It creates a narrative architecture that organizes information into a coherent flow. Storyboarding externalizes thinking. It makes structure visible. It allows ideas to be rearranged, tested, refined, and simplified without attachment to visual form. This separation of structure from design prevents premature fixation and encourages clarity of thought. Low-tech methods support better thinking. When structure is designed without software constraints, focus shifts from appearance to meaning. This leads to stronger narratives, clearer logic, and more coherent communication. Although context may feel like a delay, it's an accelerator. Clarity at the beginning reduces confusion later. Well-defined purpose reduces revision cycles. Clear structure reduces wasted effort. Strong framing prevents misalignment. Visualization without context produces iteration through confusion. Visualization with context produces progress through clarity. And so, as a final takeaway, visualization should be treated as intentional communication, not decorative production. Context should precede design. Meaning should precede form. And purpose should precede data. Structure should precede graphics. When context is properly established, visualization becomes coherent. Messages become focused, design becomes aligned, data becomes meaningful, and communication becomes effective. A mature visualization practice is therefore grounded in context awareness. We define the audience before the chart. We define the purpose before the data. And we define the structure before the design and the message before the medium. Only then does visualization become what it's meant to be. Not the display of information, but the construction of understanding. With that, Consider your first lesson learned. You now understand the importance of context. We'll see you back here for our next lesson.